What's up, everyone? My name is Josh, and this is Josh Unboxed, and welcome back to the Daily Grind, a video series in which I talk about particular plays, strategies, tips, and sports news and how it causes the market to react, the sports card market to react, and in a sense, just trying to help us navigate through this craziness that is the sports card market of 2021. And today, I'm not going to talk about a play. There is no news to talk about. Today, I want to talk about a concept. I want to talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out, and how it's okay to miss out. You know, sometimes you have to wait for the dust to settle. FOMO, hype, everything's all fueled by emotion. And sometimes when your emotions get too high, your decisions kind of waver. We always want to make sure to keep our emotions checked at the door, especially when it comes to a market that is so reliant on speculation, performance, and reaction. How do we keep ourselves grounded and trying to avoid the FOMO? And it's hard, I'll tell you that right now. I'm guilty of getting swept up in FOMO too. It happens to all of us. When Luka Doncic hit that game-winning three-pointer against the Clippers in the bubble playoffs, I jumped on and I bought some Luka Doncic cards because I was so excited. I was like, this guy has it. It's so easy to do that. But as I've gone through, those past couple months, I've learned to take a step back and just kind of watch the market and watch certain cards and watch certain things to be able to make sound purchases. Like Fernando Tatis. In November, his cards took a dip, and that's when I started buying into him. Before Marco Fultz got hurt, he was one guy that I was thinking about in the offseason. For every huge jump, for every 2001 Tiger Woods upper deck card, there is another play. There's like the Lonnie Walker Prism. There is Bo Bichette, 2020 Topps base Bo Bichette PSA 10s. For every major reaction, there is a card that gets forgotten. And those are opportunities to buy into those cards. And it's okay if a card goes up, right? It's okay if a card goes up. If the trend shows that the card goes up really high, really quickly, we're gonna see a downturn a little bit, because it just jumped up too high too quick. It was all based off of hype and speculation, and all of a sudden the rose tinted or rose colored glasses will be gone and everything will start to normalize. But here's the thing too, if a card rises, this card market is very cyclical. Everything goes up and down, up and down, up and down. If you missed the card on the first run up and we truly believe in this card, we truly believe in this player, then chances are the card will see a slight dip, whether it's in the middle of season, off season, maybe it's when they get eliminated from the playoffs, etc., etc. And then when it dips, that's the best time to buy back in again. Because if we truly believe in this player and this player is something great, when it drops down and they get back on the field, they get back on the court, the cards will start rising again. And if you strongly believe that in this particular player or this particular card, this particular set, then you'll catch it on the second turn. So it's okay. There are many, many plays out there. There are thousands of plays. We cannot hope to catch them all. This is not Pokemon. We're not gonna catch them all right? We're here to make the right choices, the most sound decision as possible, one that fits the model of just making a profit. If you're in it for profit, right, then it's okay. It doesn't matter if you make a 20% profit or if you make a 200% ROI, it doesn't matter, because an ROI is an ROI. Just because you missed out that 200% doesn't mean you shouldn't be happy with the 20. Profit is profit. At the end is what you do with that profit. Are you gonna roll it into something else? Because that's what I would do. I would take the profit, roll it into something else, turn one play into two plays, two plays into three into four into five, and all of a sudden you start growing. You build that fund, that reserve fund, to be able to purchase a big card to hold long term. And that's my goal, and that's how I approach this card market, is to make small profits and let that add up. Small gains is perfectly fine. If you want to achieve the grail cards, you have to be able to make the small profits, and we got to be able to flip and turn these cards into something greater. Turn a $20 card into $50, right? And then take that $50 and then turn that $50 into into 75, and then turn that 75 to 150, and then 150 into 300. You keep moving it, you keep moving, you keep moving, you keep moving up the ladder. And that's a concept that is so fundamentally sound, right? It's sometimes we forget about that. We get so caught up in the allure of making 300% ROI in a month, in 2 months, that we forget that sometimes the small gains equal to something bigger. It's like synergy. All the little things count, and you add up all those little things and it equals up to one big thing. So don't get swept up in the hype. Don't get swept up with FOMO. Let the dust settle. See what things are going. The idea is to catch these trends and stay 1 or 2 steps ahead. And how do we do that? By making sound decisions, by doing our research and just looking at things and seeing what's undervalued and catching these things before people catch on. That's what I try to do with whenever I look into cards. I always try to look at, has anybody caught on to this? Does anybody realize that the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout PSA 10 was selling for, like, let's say around 2,700 at one point, 27, 2,800, and then the PSA 9 was selling close to $1,000 or up to $1,000. But did anybody realize that the 2011 Bowman Chrome, not the Bowman Draft, but the Bowman Chrome, did anybody realize that that card as a PSA 10 was selling to, at one point sold for $3,000, which was more than the PSA 10, 2011 Mike Trout Topps Update? And then not only that, the PSA 9 was selling for less than $6,000, when the PSA 9 of the Topps Update was selling for close to $1,000. And then the Bowman Chrome has a lower pop count. Did anybody realize that? Not many did, because all of us are so swept up in the hype and what's hot that we don't tend to focus on what else is showing out there. I guess today's topic is just don't get swept up in the hype. Don't get caught up with your emotions. Check the emotions at the door. Make sound decisions. Stay 1 or 2 steps ahead of the game. Do your research. It's okay to make small profits. 20% ROI is just as good as a 200% ROI. It's just what you do with that ROI or what you do with that profit to build it up. Anyway, I hope you guys found some value in that. It's just something that came up to my mind today when I was driving home from work. These are just my thoughts. This is just my opinion. I feel like that's a sound move to make in order to climb the ladder and get the things that we want out of this hobby. Actually, that's my strategy to get the things that I want for this hobby. And like I've told you in a couple of my other videos, the goal is to build a collection of Grail cards to pass on to my son so that he can do whatever he wants with it when he gets older. I'm in it for the aspect of the chase, of the collecting, and just trying to see what I can do in terms of flipping cards to get those cards to benefit him at the end. Well, I hope you found some value in this. I try my best to put out a video every day. If you did find some value in it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. I do these things on a daily basis, whether it's talking about certain plays, talking about tips, strategies, talking about news and how the card market reacts to it, or even talking about or showing my weekly pickups and whatnot, and opening boxes, opening packs. It's all about sports cards, and any avenue that I could do to involve sports cards, I'm all for it, and I just want to share that with you guys. That's it. My name is Josh, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.